Hey folks, welcome to Market Technical Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leader in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Thursday, September 18th, 2008. Well, again, guys, an enormously active day in the markets, with the markets being down as much as 150 on the Dow and then surging into the close to close up over 400 points. The Dow was up 410 points, the Nasdaq up over 100, and the S&P was up over 50 points. Unbelievable for many, many reasons. We're going to do our best to get them out in this video today and discuss them for all of you to understand fully. Then we want to go over all the technicals, release what we have in turn date style, and talk about all that stuff, folks, because today, again, an enormous day, and we are favoring this as the beginning of the turn date, okay? You guys know here that have been watching the videos, and those that caught yesterday, that we caught some key levels in the market. Number one, my partner Nick over a week ago told me about the 1136 key level on the S&P. We told the chat room over the last 3 to 5 days about that level. Sure enough, what's the low on the S&P today? 1136. When does the rally start? At 1136 on the S&P. It blows my mind every time I talk to him about his expertise in technical analysis. He's so far ahead of everyone else out there, I can't even imagine it. In any case, that was number one. Second off, we had all our indicators pointing to a turn date starting tomorrow through next Monday. Okay? It looks like it may have started today, a day early, which it happens. We always give that, there's a couple days on either side. I said that in yesterday's video, that was positioning itself here coming in. So that was our turn date. It looks like it may have started here on Thursday, Thursday afternoon anyways, when the rally really got underway. And it just, all the pieces are coming together for the turn date to the upside. Now, could you expect a little bit of a pullback off of this? Yes, it was a huge up day. You basically had the Nasdaq yesterday down 110, today up 100. Net minus 10. Huge move up today. Would it shock us to see either way? We'll have to look at it, analyze the charts. Either way, it looks like the low's been put in for this turn date. That was what we were looking for, the pivot. It looks like it was the pivot today, and you can see that in the chart, and we're going to go over that. So let's get right into it, guys, because it was just an enormously active day. Here you can see basically the markets coming down, right? All right, so you're seeing the sell-off really ever since the open. You were up here at the open, and you kind of trickled down all day until around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, now what happened here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon? Well, you started to get a sense or rumors coming out from the government, and Henry Paulson, talking about the possibility of creating an entity, meaning some sort of company or shell company or something like that, and to put all the debt of these companies in that shell entity. Well, what does that mean? Well, all of a sudden it gets taken off these balance sheets, and these companies go scot-free from all their bad investments. Now, is that a logical thing? Is that the right thing? Is that an ethical thing? I don't know. I guess if you look at the bigger picture of the economy, maybe. Is it creating another bubble in the future for a major wreck down the line? Probably. But you know what? In the meantime, the market cheered it. And that's the key here, folks, is that the market rallied huge on the day, and we're going to get all into the analysis. So again, folks, what you see here is the low getting hit, and this was my partner, and we mentioned this, I think, 2 or 3 videos ago. I'd have to go back and look at exactly what video it was. We talked about the 1136 to 1140 level on the S&P as being a major, major number. All our calculations of our proprietary numbers were coming together at that point, and that's why I mentioned it in the video a few days ago. In addition, we also been talking about it in the chat room. For those of you that are in the chat room, you've been in there for the months and months that you've been with us. Obviously, we've been harping on that level 1136 on the S&P 500 for quite some time, and now you see why. The move that started off of this was ginormous, folks. Look at this major buy program coming in. You're hitting the 200 moving average up here on the S&P futures. You pull back right to the 20 moving average. It was just a pullback before another leg up, and look at this rally that then took place. Unbelievable, folks, as we rallied up huge. Now, again, we mentioned we were having a turn date. Our calculations were pointing to a key turn date over Friday through Monday, and it looks like it may have started in the afternoon on Thursday, which is very possible. As we always mention, it can happen a day or two around that turn date. I want to really get into the charts now, because we want to get into the daily charts and see what's going on, but let's first go to the SPY daily and really touch base with what this is showing us. First of all, major tail on the daily chart and major volume. Biggest volume day of the year by a ton. 750 million shares traded on the S&P SPY. That is by far the biggest day of the year. That could be also a signal that it's that bottom, near-term bottom anyways, and you have the move up starting and closing in the upper end with a nice tail there. Now, also, look at this. Draw your line across from the support line, and look where you closed. You closed right on that line. And guys, this isn't something that we're just kind of throwing together here and using some magic tricks. We're pointing these levels out because they're key. And again, I've told you that in many videos. Always pay attention to the numbers we point out. They are significant. They're done with our calculations, both proprietary and technical, and you're seeing them. Why? So you're seeing exactly why. So not only did you have a major tail formation right off that 1136 level, but also a close on this line here, which is a major level. Now, this is what could be telling us that you could have a little bit of a pause day tomorrow in the markets. We'll have to see. Now, there's another key to this market why we rallied today, and I want to touch base on it. Number one was basically the idea of putting all the bank's debt and bad loans in a major entity, all right, for the government to deal with. Do I agree with it? Not necessarily, but is it a near-term Band-Aid? Sure, what the heck. Now, the other issue was you basically had England saying, we're not going to allow shorting in any of these financial stocks anymore. And that was really the gist of the initial push in the market when that came out. That's huge, folks. I mean, if you can't short financials, all of a sudden, a major part of the market is done, and there's no more, that selling is not there anymore. Only people that own the stock now, or were believing that they wanted to go long in these, could now short it. So that's huge, all right? So the combination of those two created probably one of the biggest reversals. I think it might have been the biggest move in about 6 years in the markets. Absolutely huge. Just an unbelievable upshoot in this market. Everything rallied. I mean, there was really nothing. You could have taken a dart and thrown it at a stock symbol board, and anything you hit probably bought and would have made decent money on it. Goldman Sachs was down on the day, but Goldman Sachs went as low as $85 today and 88 cents, and it rallied all the way back to close at 108. So I mean, the rally that took place on Goldman was immense. And to see Goldman at $85 is something in itself that's unbelievable, considering just about a week ago. And I just looked back in the video, I think it was 3 days ago on Monday, we talked about that key level breakdown on Goldman at $157, $156 level. And that level took the stock all the way down to $85 from $157 to $156. Just shows you, again, the levels on these stocks, how important they are. All right. Again, let's just take a look back at the SPY daily chart. I want to touch base on that SPY daily, flipping back to it. So number one, you have this as being a little bit of resistance right here. In addition, I want to show you this. And I want to show you this also because it's just fascinating to me. It's the technical side. You guys, I know all you guys that watch these videos love the technicals. Notice this level here is the bottom. This is the daily chart of the SPY. So you're coordinating this low with where we closed today, right? All right. Then you want to look at this intraday chart on the 10-minute. And look at where we came into resistance as well. The 200 intraday moving average right here at the same point as this point here. So it just shows you how the technicals line up. And this is why we say throw out the Wall Street hype. We don't want to know this. We don't want to know that. Everyone calls bottoms. You name it out there. Everyone on these TV shows calls bottoms. They've called 10 bottoms in the last year and they haven't been right. All right, the technicals have been the only thing out there that have been consistently accurate 80% to 90% of the time, as we've called them in this video, folks. And you guys know our turn dates, maybe they're a day off. Almost always they're within a day of the correct date. And again, here showing us, again, that that's the case. So in any case, folks, just an unbelievable rally across the board. There's not much to say. You obviously want to take a cautious standpoint in the market tomorrow because you never know. Basically you're looking at this. We're saying that this is the lows that we think anyways in the near term. This will be the lows of the market. Okay? That still leaves a lot of area in here to trade in. Now, what you're looking for tomorrow, can we confirm this move up? And what would we need to confirm this move up? Well, we want to see a move above this line. So notice how all these lines are key. So you have this area in here where you could pull back. You could pull back a little bit. You could even pull back to the lows and make a double bottom. Although I tend to think that with this new not being able to short financial thing, at least in England, that's going to help keep the market afloat. But also, in addition, just the thought of this possible entity could also keep the markets afloat to take on all the bad debt. So I'm more thinking that if you do come back in this range, it's more of a pullback before another leg up. Okay? And again, if we close above this level somewhere up here, especially up here, well then obviously that looks more bullish for the market. So again, the key is confirmation. We stress confirmation on every chart because until you get confirmation, it could be a fake out to take the weak hand's money. The other thing I want to harp on today, guys, is this week is options expiration week. We always talk about Whipsaw Wednesday. We coined that term for Wednesday. look at yesterday, the craziness of yesterday. Look at this week as a whole, how wild it's been. And if you're an options trader, especially if you're a smaller options trader, you know what it's been like trying to maneuver through this market, especially this week. We always talk about the wildness of options expiration week, especially Whipsaw Wednesday, and this week has been an exemplary proof of how crazy that options X week is. So be careful, folks. On the upside, ultimately, you're going to have resistance coming up here. This will be the major resistance line up here. On the downside, you're looking at support all the way back down here. You have some key minor supports along the way. Those in the chat room, we obviously cover those in the intraday. I'm not going to bother you guys with this. Once the new website's up, I can spend a lot more time in these videos laying everything out and going over gold, energy, the dollar, which have all been key players, but we just don't have enough time in this video to go over all of that. So come join the new website. It's going to be the Research Center on the new website. It'll have like 5 different research products in the Research Center. Fantastic. Join the chat room. Awesome chat room today, guys. We made so much money. It was ridiculous. Have a wonderful day. We'll join the Swing Trade Alerts. Take care.